Now, I'd like to show a bit more data, and this is handwritten and not on a sheet of paper. And I'm going to call it grammatical residue because it turns up in a few constructions in Choctaw, and I want you to be aware of it when we look at Cherokee. So here, okay, and actually let me point out that Aaron Broadwell had noticed this phenomenon quite a while ago, and has written a exhaustive paper on how to take these things apart. But if we look at 5B, we can see that we can add a causative marker to a transitive. And that'll get us a couple of different things. In some cases, we're going to get X makes Y do Z, if the semantics are right. Generally, if you have two humans where one can be an actor, one can do a transitive act and the other can make you do it. But also, we get lots and lots of forms like this where we just keep getting synonyms, as in intuichi, cause to open, make it open, and this sort of thing, where we're not saying somebody made somebody open something, but simply iterations of the same sort of transitive causative meaning. Which Broadwell also shows that this can turn into an intensification of an affected argument, so that we can either make somebody do something or do something to an extreme way, in an especially effective way. Or we can even start doubling up the chi causative marker, like shua means to smell bad. Shuachi we know would be cause to smell bad, but shuachichi. Okay, this is less common, but it is not strange to do that. And we have a number of chichi things in Choctaw that cannot. These are not cumulative causatives. So one of the transitivizing affixes, let's say the most internal one, is syntactically inert, but it contributes semantically, probably narrowing the meaning as we avoid perfect synonyms. Okay. So another example of inert grammar is with the person markers ili, which is the self marker, and the third dative or recipient marker im. And I have an example here. If we have ili foka, he dresses himself, but then we can nominalize that to the noun ili foka, meaning garment. Or in, let's say, the word for to offer someone something, im, which is the to someone, imissa, he offers her something. Imissa, as a noun, means an offering. So we have an inert third person marker there. Okay, well, let's look at how different Cherokee is. Okay, word meaning is made by manipulating the meanings of lexical roots, which gives a good deal of freedom to result in derivations, much like noun-noun derivations, let's say referring to the famous apple juice seat kinds of thing. But what is different is that the roots are quite complex semantically. The roots themselves encode space relationships of objects, directionality, actors, location, without having category or argument structure. So, looking at the ones that I've glossed out here, it isn't that we have a word apple, it's that we've got something like jut attached asymmetrically at an indentation, which requires us to have a spatial relation, some kind of instrument, some kind of position that things are in, and not just some kind of reference to a word apple. So this is where things are going to get complicated. So in numbers 6 through 10, we have what I would call sensible combinations of roots, but not rules to tell us which detail is salient, and certainly no cycles. So looking here at our lunchbox, we've got the plural object marker, and then we've got our stoma word, and we've got the attaching it asymmetrically at an indentation root, and then we've got a thing at the end that says thing. And by putting these together, I guess that could be lunchbox. I mean, I couldn't do it. This is Durbin. All of my examples are from Durbin Feeling, by the way. His glosses and his derivations. Okay. Another note, I did not mark tone in these examples because that would have been another hour and a half of keystrokes to get the tones, and I just could not do that. Okay. Let me move to another. These are for your inspection. notice that when we get down to the lamp chimney, at some point I've got all of these things that are talking about handles for a while, but I don't actually have a root that means handle. I'm inferring handle from the roots. But then when I get down to lamp chimney, I've got my wolot root, which is the protruding like lips into the air, and that is going to be the shape of the lamp chimney, and that's going to be the salient thing for making this word. So there isn't a way to know before you get to the end which one of these is going to, as I said, be the salient kernel here. Okay. Furthermore, as Pulte points out, the grammatical marker for the third plural object may be either active or inert syntactically. So look at 11 and 12. In both, a plural object marker, an allomorph of they, is necessary not to refer to a plural argument of the verb, but to a plural notion in the lexical semantics. So what we've got with he or she is sneezing is a reference to the fact that you're blowing out air through more than one nostril. And this cannot be an argument marker. In the they are hungry, we have a plural subject, which is the uni marker, and the ta refers to the fact that multiple beings have multiple stomachs. Okay, and it's silly to say that without the ta. However, the same plural marker refers to a real argument in 13, where we have, what is it? He or she sees that them are ta now actually refers to an argument in syntax.